Welcome back to Bumblebee. Here are the top 10 recent discoveries from the ancient world. These ones are kind of fresh. Let's do it. Kicking off the list at number 10, Pompeii Chariot. Nothing like finding a sweet ride from ancient times. Once a thriving, beautiful city in ancient Rome, Pompeii was sadly destroyed in 79 AD. The eruption of Mount Vesuvius buried the ancient city in volcanic ash. Excavations, of course, didn't begin until much later, during the 18th century, and after an entire century of careful searching, the city was reopened to the public once again. All was lost during that fateful eruption, but we're slowly recovering more and more. For example, a 2,000-year-old chariot is pretty sweet. The decorations on the side are quite beautiful. They look like flower decorations, and according to Eric Poehler, who is a professor at the University of Massachusetts, this chariot was for the highest class. He calls it the Lamborghini of chariots. I still can't drive. Nice. Number 9. Pompeii Restaurant. Table for 8? Perfect. Another addition to the list has to be another find from Pompeii. This is the first time in history where hot food and drink eatery has been unearthed. Yeah, in case you're wondering right now, fast food was also tempting the finest back in the 1st century. Yeah, we found a restaurant in 2019, but we were too busy talking about the Avengers to care about it. The meal of the day was most likely honey roasted rodents. Yeah, that's our best guess. Archaeologists have gathered clues to find out what 12,000 people were rushing to eat every single day. Honey roasted rodents. Nice. Rolls off thy tongue, some would say. In typical human fashion, the restaurant is now open again. It's the same place. Yep, don't forget to tip. It's bad juju. Please don't tip. You have to tip. You have to. Number 8, Turkey Gladiator Arena. Yes, another arena, another staple in history filled with gruesome combat in the name of entertainment. An 1,800-year-old arena was discovered back in 2020. We were all still, inside watching Ozark. Meanwhile, a 90-meter wide amphitheater was found in the ancient city of Mastura. Its purpose was thought to be the same as the Colosseum. Just, a lot of bad stuff. It was to host these massive professional gladiator fights with a lot of wild animals. They were involved doing bad stuff. This was around 200 AD when the Severian dynasty was ruling the Roman Empire. If betting on animal fights was your thing, you'd have to travel to this place. This is where you'd want to go. Yeah, hope you have trail shoes on and great knees. I'm getting weak just looking at those hills. My patellas are like, no, I don't want to go. Can we go to Rome, please? Number 7, the Great Treasurer. Ptah had a pretty sweet job back in 1200 BC. He was the head of treasury under Ramses II, aka Ramses the Great, the 3rd pharaoh of Egypt's 19th dynasty. He once ruled from 1279 to 1213 BC, and about a year ago we found his royal scribe's tomb. And it's pretty fancy. It's very fancy. The site also includes tombs of other statesmen from the 19th dynasty, of course buried in Saqqara, Giza. In typical tomb fashion, Cairo archaeologists found writings and drawings that tell us more about Egypt's time under the ruling of Ramses the Great. And it looks nothing like any of the graffiti we have today. Where art is gone. Like natural history of art and stuff, it's just we've lost that. Now we have Twitter. That's how we're gonna be remembered by. Twitter and sporks. That's all we'll find in thousands of years. Number 6, the lost city of Heraklion. Before it was discovered in 2001, the ancient city of Heraklion was barely mentioned in texts throughout history. Yet archaeologist Frank Gaudio still found it. What an OG. It was hiding in the depths, around 7 kilometers off the coast, and it was pretty obvious that it was an ancient city because, well, there were 64 shipwrecks and 700 anchors and 16-foot statues just hanging about. One vessel was around 80 feet long. It was a classical Greek flat-bottomed ship, with oars on both sides and a massive sail. It was a bit hard to find this wreck seeing as it was hidden. It was hidden 15 feet under the collapsed temple of Amun. Good problems, I'd say, there's treasure in the way of finding that treasure. Where do I even start? A project led by the European Institute for Underwater Archaeology, a lot of words, obviously kept searching, so they also found a 4th century Greek funerary area. Yeah, ancient graveyards underwater. Guy, watch a movie. This is how you get cursed. Let's move on. Number 5, Vasa Shipwreck. Back in 1628, the Vasa sunk within 20 minutes of setting sail, and it claimed the lives of 30 souls on board. Pretty tragic. The Swedish Navy launched the ship August 10, 1628, and at this time it was considered a high-tech warship. It was referred to as spectacular. Yeah, they even said it with that accent. Spectacular. I don't even know what accent that was, but they said it like that. So what happened here? Well, the first rush of wind caught it off guard, made it all off balanced, and the second rush of wind completely sank it. No combat, nothing. No icebergs popping out of nowhere. It just sank. There was a crowd around watching the entire thing. They were watching this great, glorious send-off, but the 64 bronze cannons that were installed, during the rushed process to make it look spectacular or whatever, they were too heavy, so the ship sank. The lack of oxygen in the water allowed for its rediscovery to continue its story. The Vasa was built with carvings all around the king at the time, who was King Gustav II. So when the wreck was rediscovered in 1961, I say recent, this is pretty recent, 95% of the wood was still perfectly intact. Yeah, I had to talk about this. This is amazing. Humans are focusing too much on naval warfare rather than if the ship can actually, stay afloat. I can't tell if this is a curse or just humans being humans. Number 4. Luxor Tombs. Oh man, I wish this happened while I was in high school. I would have done so many projects on this as it unfolded. That would have been sweet. Back in 2014, quite recent, archaeologists discovered a 4,000-year-old tomb from the 11th dynasty tucked away in, you guessed it, Luxor, Egypt. That's like the ultimate find right there. A Spanish archaeologist found the tomb belonging to the leader from the 11th dynasty, and it was pretty obvious this was somebody from the royal family. Officials believe the tomb may have been used as a mass grave, due to the large amounts of human remains found inside. That's definitely one way to tell, that's for sure helpful. It's important to note that this tomb had also been used during the 17th dynasty later on, because tools and utensils from that time were also found that were not in existence from prior. See, humans can share. Even mass graves. Sometimes. Number 3. Cursed tablet. Super recent discovery right here. Small but mighty. This tablet comes in at just 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters. Discovered only a month ago in the West Bank, this artifact has historians scratching their heads because it's a couple hundred years older than any Hebrew texts. It predates the Dead Sea Scrolls by 1,350 years. So it's pretty old. The ancient letters meant to call God onto anybody who breaks this curse. This little curse. There's around 40 proto-alphabetic letters, early Hebrew writing, all folded onto this little lead tablet. The fact that this small tablet mentions the curse of Yahweh is pretty alarming. Like, what are the odds that we found this exact part? This sediment comes from excavations done in the 80s on Mount Ebal, so many believe this is from the ancient stone structure Joshua's altar, which is dated around 1200 BC. Yeah, a little tablet from the Mountain of Curses. Yeah, just what we need right now. Awesome. Keep it up, guys. Great work. Number 2. The Dead Sea Scrolls. The Israel Antiquities Authority believe they have found the oldest woven basket in history. This basket comes from the Neolithic period, some 10,000 years ago, which is pretty impressive. This basket is made of woven reeds. It predates pottery in the region, and due to the area's hot, dry climate, the basket was able to stay in remarkable shape all this time. It was a pretty nice find in something called the Cave of Horrors. Yeah, I'm not even making that up. It's called the Cave of Horror. Sorry, correction, horror. One singular horror, not horrors. Back in the 60s, the remains of 40 people were found from a long time before, so it makes sense that they didn't rush back to the cave to search for anything else. Now, cut to March 2021, fragments of a Dead Sea Scroll were found in that same cave, the Cave o' Horror. The writing on the scroll are mostly Greek letters with some in Hebrew. Dead Sea Scrolls in a Cave of Horror. Yeah, sounds like I'm making this up. I wish I was, I'm not. And finally, number 1, ancient Greek shipwreck. The oldest shipwreck discovered in the Black Sea, and you would never guess by looking at it. Looks brand new, looks like it just left 4 days ago. This ship is from 400 BC. It's an ancient Greek trading vessel. It's not very large, but somehow this thing is mighty. It has been in great condition for over 2,400 years, over a mile below the surface. Yeah, no light, nothing. Even the fish are like, what is that? The lack of oxygen actually preserved the ship. That's why it looks like it sank a year ago and not, thousands. John Adams, principal investigator with the Black Sea Archaeology Project, describes the finding as something he never thought was even possible, let alone something he'd witnessed in his lifetime. That's why we had to finish in our number 1 spot. Only made sense. Those are the top 10 recent discoveries from the ancient world. If you want a part 2, you know what to do. Hit that thumbs up, comment down below, all that good stuff. I've been your host, Taylor McWaters. I'll see you next time on Bumblebee. See ya. Number 4. Oh no. That's such a bad bit. Please tip or else it'll blow up again. So can't do that. That's a bit more to the punch. We'll see. I don't know. Ta-em wish. Time. No, this P's definitely silent. Yeah. Just so messy out of nowhere. I'm like, good morning. All right, I'm gonna sip this. Hydrate my old lips. Sorry, Brianna. I'm not sure how I feel about coconut water. I'm not sure how I feel about it. Oh, that's kind of gross. Welcome back to... It's kind of good. kind of nice. The aftertaste is better. Now my mouth's all chalky from this. I want to sip so bad, but it's coconut water. Why'd I do this? So stupid. I need a sip of this, and it's gonna suck. It's okay. I'll see how I feel. Vitamin water. Nope. Coconut water. Like, it's okay. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it's like wine. I don't like wine either. God damn it. Oh no, I feel like I'm on Castaway. I'm like, oh, I don't want to drink it. It's actually fine. New look, same great taste. Same great coconut taste.